Welcome to another edition of Because Bikers Matter podcast. I'm your host, David Vegas Shuman. My special guest today is Charlie Humphries. Hi, Charlie. Welcome to the program.
Hi, welcome. Great to have me.
Thank you. And before I get into all the fun stuff with you, I just want to mention again, I want to thank everyone who's helped with money, helped with clothing, supplies, food, transportation, which has been by so many different methods, ATVs and Jeeps and helicopters and boats, and the list goes on. Bike haulers, um, anyone who's provided help to these poor people that have been devastated by this hurricane and are still in need of supplies and food and clothing, etc. And I bring it up again because Charlie is going to tell us a little bit about his own situation. He's currently sitting in a toy hauler,
That's
right?
right. We're me and my wife's kind of out in our toy hauler a little bit because we live in Newport Ritchie, which is just north of Tampa. So, Milton hit us really hard. And so I kind of got a makeshift little office here in the garage of my toy hauler. So that's what
And
I'm on.
you borrowed your daughter's laptop and the
Yep,
camera
Dr. Laptop I'm on. Yep.
the sound is really good. The camera not so great, but these people understand why. He's doing the best he can under the circumstances he has. So you
Yep.
said your house
I'm
got
also
flooded?
wireless. So I'm also wireless. So sometimes that, like in my house, I got a hard wire into mine. So a lot of times wireless is not quite as nice of a picture as if you're hardwired.
Sure. So you took on water in the house?
We took on a little bit of everything. We had wind. Of course, we got home. We went up north towards Perry to get out of the way. Then when we came back, we had trees down. So I spent 2 days cutting trees down. We was out without power for almost a week. We finally got power back. So of course we had to throw everything away in our refrigerators and everything else,
That's
which
horrible.
FEMA does not cover.
Of
So
course not.
got that. Then we live between three rivers, and all those rivers begin to overflow. So while I was going to Daytona, Dana was watching the flood waters rise, and they're finally going back down now. So we kind of got three pronged here.
That's rough.
And it was our third storm. We had one that brushed us during the week of Sturgis. So I was in Sturgis while Dana rode that one out. Then we just had Helena that come through. And then as soon as we thought it was over it, then we took the direct hit with Milton.
I can't even imagine.
So, and FEMA has just been a pain through and through.
Yeah, you were saying they tell you, oh, you're going to qualify, put all the stuff together, and then they immediately deny the claim.
Yeah, the local people, oh yeah, you should get immediate relief and everything else. Just go online, fill out everything. You spend an hour filling out everything, send it the very next day, ineligible, sending you all things. We don't cover this, we don't cover that, on and on and on.
That's got to be so frustrating.
So you got to fight with them. I do want to thank the Florida National Guard. The Florida National Guard gave us a case of MREs and a case of water. So we appreciate them. That helped a lot. So we really appreciated those folks. The linemen were great. In fact, the lineman that fixed our power is from my hometown of Alexandria, Louisiana. So that was kind of a surprise to see them show up way down here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is kind of interesting, but so
Yep.
thankful to those people that are willing to travel and help out, be away from their families, but to help people who have virtually nothing or are just struggling with the situation.
Yes, if you really want to see the devastation, look up pictures of St. Petersburg and look at Tropicana Field where the Tampa Bay Rays play and look how
I
devastating.
saw that.
So you
The
and
entire roof is gone.
yep, and so you can just imagine what it did to that big building, what people's houses are doing. In fact, today, this evening, I'm going to Clearwater Island, a friend's house. There pretty much got wiped out. He's living down to the south, and we're going to meet there just to see what we got to do to try to clean the sand and everything else out of his house on Clearwater Island. He can finally get back today onto the island.
Wow.
So,
That's
so
rough
we're,
stuff.
but you know what? We're bikers. We're going to dig out of this. You know how bikers are. We're stubborn. We don't give up. You know, bikers help bikers. We're going to keep plugging away. And if we got to use baling wire and duct tape, we're going to get back on our feet and keep going.
Amen. That's great. So you mentioned it, but let's start doing some background stuff. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in central Louisiana. I grew up just north of Alexandria, Louisiana, on a farm that my grandfather and parents had. So I'm a farm boy from up that way. So coming to Florida was like, hey, look, electricity, that kind of thing.
What were they growing on the farm?
We grew a little bit of everything, but our two main crops was corn and of all things potatoes.
Got those carbs under control.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh,
Meat and potatoes every day.
yeah, I hate going by a cornfield. Now, to the south of us, of course, was sugar cane. Then you get over to the east of us was cotton. So we had farms all around us. We always had cattle and everything else. And actually, that's where I started riding motorcycles.
Which is my next question. So, what was the introduction?
On the farm, we had horses. We always had horses, and the biggest thing about horses, you have to feed them and everything else. So my dad, who was a career, worked for the telephone company, had a chance to buy two Honda Trail 70 motorcycles.
Nice.
So, the Trail 70s had the big tires that were kind of probably the first ATV type things. You couldn't turn them over because the tires were only like 5 foot wide, and held 3 pounds of air. And but what we did is riding fences. I would get on that little Trail 70, and I wasn't 10, 12 years old at the most. And it had the backpacks on it, and I would actually ride the fences, fixing spots in the fences on those Trail 70s instead of riding the horses. So that's where I started by. In fact, I couldn't reach the ground, so I'd have to pull up to a tree and let the handlebar lean over on the tree to be able to get on and off the bike.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how young I was.
So, what are you riding now?
I have a 2013 police style Harley Davidson Ultra Glide with the police colors, the double blue police colors. So I got it some time ago. Before that, I bought from a cousin the 2003 police style double blue. So I've had two different ones, and I love them.
Nice. Any favorite of them?
No, yeah, well, actually, yeah, I had a 99 Fat Boy. The last year they had the Evo engine, and I loved that bike. I put almost 100,000 miles on that bike before I got rid of it. The only thing that was funny was still made those solid rim tires. They didn't have the holes or anything in them. So if you got a crosswind, that got a little fun, especially on a bridge. But I love that bike. I always loved the Fat Boy. But with Dana and stuff, love the ladies, but they always got to carry, enough stuff to do a weekend at Vegas when you go somewhere. So the backpacks and everything work great for us.
Check out all the beautiful classic cars around me. They're detailed to perfection, and I'll bet their insurance policies are just as good. We want to thank our sponsor, Motorcycle Safety Lawyers, a division of Shuman Legal personal injury lawyers. They have over 35 years experience handling all types of accidents. We want to be your personal injury lawyer. Got it. So, how'd you get involved in bike shows?
Well, when I come to Florida, there was another company I was looking for something to do, and they were doing an event, and they also said, well, come on and just join us. So I joined them at an event, and then we just kind of took off from there. We was like, what can we do to generate some interest? So we just started doing the ride-in bike shows. And they've kind of grown to where now, like you look at what we just did in Daytona, we did a ride-in bike show and a sound competition. I'm not as big on the sound competition, but there's a lot of guys you saw when you was in Daytona. They put a lot of money into the sound system of their bikes.
Oh, no question about it. Even the one that we did in Sturgis at the Buffalo Chip, that was the godfather of bass, Jim Lynch, who'll be showing up here soon.
In fact, I just saw before signed on. They made it to Las Vegas, so he should be sniffing around you here anytime.
He said he'll be here probably another half hour or so, 40 minutes. So
yeah,
we got lots to do to get ready for the bike show we're putting on at Counts Customs. So
yeah, wish I was
going to be a big day.
Yeah, maybe next year y'all say, hey, we'll throw you on a plane and you got to come out here with us.
There you go. You never know.
I've done that drive Jim did, and crossing the desert through New Mexico and everything else is not exactly the funnest trip in the world.
I haven't taken it myself, but I'll believe you.
Oh, you see a lot of sand and mountains. And you'll say, hey, look at that mountain. You drive for 3 hours, say, hey, look at that mountain. And you say, well, same mountain. It just hadn't moved yet.
Brutal.
Yeah. But
So you said you were putting on, or you're just starting to put on your own bike shows?
I'm starting to put on my own bike shows. I'm with Rider Now magazine now. Valerie Smith is great. She's letting me use the name, so we're putting up. I've already did a few under her name here in the local area, um, at Scooter Haven, which is just north of us. Things like that. Working with some other people. Coming up on Cody River, that was supposed to have been 2 weeks ago with the storm that postponed it till January. I think the third weekend of January. So I'll be doing one there in conjunction with Venom Choppers. So it's starting to come together on what we're doing here. The other company I was with for 13 and a half years, and the owner decided to go digital. Everything's digital, no more print book, no more just doing the digital thing. And he probably did the right thing, because things are changing and everything else. But he's just doing it himself now. And Valerie's like, hey, come on over and work with me and keep doing what you're doing and take that experience you've gotten and move on. Plus, I'm into other things that I kind of told you earlier, and I'll get into it. And so I'm just kind of expanding my horizon here a little bit.
You got the tentacles reaching out all over the place.
Yeah, trying to be more than a one-trick pony. The motorcycle community is great, but I'm also looking into doing some car shows because they are really growing here. And also on the other time, kind of off the motorcycle thing, I also do bass fishing tournaments around the area, and I finally got one of my schedules for next year. So I'm into that too. So I'm an outdoorsman all the way around.
Very nice. Well, if someone's interested in getting a hold of you to talk about maybe having a bike show or car show or the bass fishing side of the things you do, how do they do that?
It's easy. All they got to do is give me a call. You've got my card, but I'll just throw my number out there at 727-290-5035. They call me or text me and say, hey, fool, give me a call. We'll get y'all set up. If you ever do call me and don't answer, please just leave me a message because my cell phone, I'm always on. You saw me in Daytona, and
You were working hard in Daytona. We didn't get much time to talk, the two of us, but you were, on the mic quite a bit and helping coordinate the bikes coming in and getting staged for even the audio stuff.
Yeah, I've done a lot of emceeing. From time to time, I MC MMA fights and stuff like that. So that's pretty
Really?
cool. Oh yeah. So that's pretty cool to be in there. But I got to use the deep voice on there. Let's get right. So I got to do all this stuff. So if anybody just needs a big mouth on the mic or something, all they got to do is give me a call.
The next Bruce Buffer.
I don't know about that, man. He is like the top of the list there.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Love listening to him. Okay, so anything else fun you'd like to share with us today?
Just glad it's kind of riding season again. Going back to Storm at Daytona, it was so great to be with you and Jim and stuff like that to do something normal. It was really nice to be out there. I don't know if you heard me on the mic. I told Destination Daytona that I was proud that they didn't cancel. I know some were forced to cancel due to storm damage, like Cackleberry and stuff like that. They just couldn't help it. Where I camp at Finish Line, she was just amazing. Come on out, enjoy, and stuff like that. So it was great to just be normal again, even if it was for a long weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they were still, you saw on all the side shoots and stuff, all the debris, mostly trees, palm trees and that kind of stuff, but piled up pretty good, waiting to get picked up. There were some places, fairly mangled steel, signage and stuff that just got twisted around like you wouldn't believe.
Well, I just got this back on my property a few days ago. When I got back, I had to ask a friend down the street, could I just abandon it across the street because there was still debris laying across the street, stuff where I couldn't get it by. So I had to wait for cleaning crews to come get that before I could even get this back to our property.
So they've cleaned up around you at this point.
Yeah, we at least have a trail going through. Now, there's still trees down, like you're saying, that they still haven't. They're saying it could take up to 6 months to get all the debris picked up. But at least we kind of got chainsaws out and got a wide enough spot where we can get in and out of our street and stuff like that.
Wow. You don't, if you don't live through this, you don't experience hurricanes and stuff, you don't realize all the little things that actually make a difference.
And again, the people coming together and stuff like that, it's just been amazing.
Yeah, and you're lucky you got power after a week. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
There's still people in this area who don't have power yet. they're still waiting to get power back. And like I say, I'm meeting a friend this evening because they're just now being able to get back out on the island where they're at on Clearwater Island. So we don't know what we're going to find down there tonight whenever he does that. So, but like I say, we're resilient. We're going to pick up. The biker community is going to come together. We're going into Thanksgiving. We got some food drives set up. I'm already working to do the cereal for summer for next year. So when I get ready to do that, either Jim or you or somebody's going to have to let me borrow an enclosed trailer where we put cereal in it to drop off with the Channel 10 here, for feeding Tampa Bay. So I'm just trying to get back into that, doing things, getting ready for the future and start moving forward again.
Well, God bless you for all that and everyone around there who's, trying to survive from these terrible things.
Yep.
Well, really appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you again soon because I know we'll have some bike show together soon.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna stay in touch with you. Of course, you can find us real easy. Just look up Rider Now Magazine on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. You can find everything on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. That way, keep up. Look up, Charlie Humphries on Facebook. Like me on there. Friend me. Let me know where you're from. I love getting information like that. All that good stuff. I got a lot of events coming up. I'll be tagging. I got you guys on my Facebook, so I know everything you're doing, so we can forward that. And hopefully we get y'all in the book and get y'all on board as sponsor and everything else. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers has got. I heard nothing but great things.
Well, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that.
And they especially love that you're actually involved in the event. You're out there shaking hands. You're out there kissing babies. You're out there talking to the people, and you just don't know how far that goes with you actually being out there with the folks.
We feel like it's more important than having a blimp or a truck or some other inanimate thing with our name on it.
Well, if you get a blimp, you got to let me soup up the engines on it or something like that.
Okay, that's a deal.
Yeah, you got to do that so you can take me for a ride on it.
All right.
I'll rewire it to where we have the first blimp to break the sound barrier or something.
Oh, God.
I was hoping Jim would maybe sneak in with you. So,
I thought about that, but he hasn't shown up yet. And he hasn't texted me that he's close.
Well, I saw just before we went on, he put a thing on Facebook that they had arrived in Las Vegas. So I'm glad they made it safe. He's always a great guy to be around. So when you see Bike Show Mafia out at a place, go by and see him too. He's always been a great guy, and
for sure,
people enjoy. He's got those full rim Elvis glasses he loves to wear.
So, and he's got the new shop open. It's still got stuff to do, but it's open for business.
Yep, I think he's going to do a grand opening, maybe just for Bike Week next year. But whenever he does, I'm going to be there with Rider Now Magazine. We're going to
be there too.
Oh yeah, so we're going to make sure it happen.
All right. Well, I thank you for your time. I wish you all the best. We'll talk soon. David Vegas Shuman, signing out. Check out this 1948 Harley Hummer. It's a beaut. We want to thank you for listening to our podcast today. If you liked it, please share it with your friends and family. If you happen to be coming out to the Las Vegas area, send me a text. I'd love to join you for a ride. David Vegas Shuman, signing out.